before we get in this episode, can you do us a favor? Will you go ahead and subscribe to the channel?
Will you ring that notification bell?
And if you would, give this video a like. Well, enough of that mumbo jumbo. Let's get to the episode.
Let's talk developmentally speaking, glow up, and connecting through wrestling.
Tonight, my guest is a former WWE superstar, Impact, the NWA. He hosts a very successful podcast, Pope's Point of View. Tonight, I have the Pope himself, Elijah Burke. Thank you for coming on tonight.
No problem. Thank you for having me here, Brian.
How's everything in Pope's world?
Everything's going according to plan, and that's day by day. That's what we do. Just living life and making the best of it. And I hope that you and everyone listening, watching, are doing the same.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Growing up in Seymour, Indiana, I've got to see you for a very long time now, almost 20 years with
Oh,
OVW,
wow.
just right down the road. Um, Everywhere you've went, you've always been a staple. You've always been an important player. You're a household name. And now, you got your start in Louisville, where you cut your teeth there. And now you're returning back to Louisville. What's that feeling like?
I think that's pretty cool. That's the big thing there. Pope returning to Louisville one more again, if you will. One more again. Pope returns to Louisville, and I'm very excited to be a part of Derby City Wrestling's debut show. And as you mentioned, I'm pretty sure I'll become a staple there as well. I'll be around. I'll be hopefully coming back and being a focal point of that show as well. But I got a lot of family, a lot of friends. Uh, I should say fans. I ain't gonna say friends, but by way of fans being friends. But I got a lot of family and friends in Louisville, so it's going to be pretty exciting to be again back there and to partake in Derby City Wrestling.
Oh, most definitely. And those Louisville fans don't forget, so I'm sure everybody's ready to see the Pope back.
Yeah, yeah, and again, I said friends and by way of fans, I do mean that because once you've encountered fans and support from individuals in Louisville,
Hmm.
you're considered a friend. Like that's they'll never forget if they happen to see you anywhere in the airport, in a grocery store. They're gonna let you know. They're gonna let you know. Hey, I was there. I remember when you were in OVW. I remember this, that, and the other. And it's funny because they'll never necessarily talk about WWE or Impact or
Hmm.
NWA. They always talk about OVW. So it's gonna be pretty cool going back.
That's what I've always loved is it was always a different world. Like you said,
Yeah,
like OVW, those fans were so Louisville fans were so die hard, because they got to see a different side, and it wasn't just someone that's brought up to the main roster. They do this, they do that. It was they invested because they were there weekly and they got to see you evolve and grow and now returning back to Louisville, I feel like it's going to be a huge success. There's going to be a lot of people, especially to see you come back. And I seen that they announced your opponent today, Dylan Bostic. Now, have you ever worked with Dylan Bostic before?
it's funny. No, I haven't. Dylan Bostic, however, uh, by way of OVW, took the same path.
Hmm.
So he was a mainstay a little after Pope, but definitely he cut his teeth in OVW as well. And we've never shared the ring together. So this is going to be again not kind of a homecoming for us both,
Hmm.
and two OVW standouts going at it 1-on-1.
That match will for sure tear the house down. So let's take, like you said, a lot of people don't mention WWE. I've got to know you well, seen your career evolve over time. What was it like coming through the NWA?
Um, I end up. It's funny because we're talking OVW and
Hmm.
you mentioned the E and the A, and TNA, and now we're back to the W. That's wrestling with the NWA. So heading over and becoming a part of the National Wrestling Alliance (NWA) was so freaking different because it was so normal.
Hmm.
It was a throwback. It's so relatively uh the dynamics are unique, and it's very unique in comparison to it relatively being the same as what OVW,
Hmm.
how it processed and ran its shows. You know, a studio setting. OVW had its own, arena type setting, and you're allowed to basically you're given the reins of your own, not just your character, but of your match, of your
Hmm.
promos. Like, you're entrusted to go out and deliver, and that was the thing with OVW, and that's the thing that I loved about the NWA of
For sure.
current
Like
the
with
current Lightning One era.
that's what I love about seeing you and Idol Stevens and Trevor Murdoch in the NWA is you guys were trained right. You know how to help people, and I couldn't think of any better people for those. You got people just starting out to learn from than people that went through OVW and learned professional wrestling
Right.
because it seems like the NWA is professional wrestling in a sports entertainment world.
Yeah, that's right.
And I
That's
just feel like everybody's so grateful to have people like you there to learn from and to grow and get advice from.
yeah. It's as the slogan goes. I actually think I coined this phrase well back when I got there in 2019. It's wrestling the way it's meant to be.
Hmm.
Uh, not a lot of shenanigans. Of course, there's a place for uh, shenanigans and then quote unquote entertainment
Hmm.
aspect of professional wrestling. But um, for the most part, NWA is just a throwback to what it was when, Dusty and Flair and Nikita and Magnum and the Horsemen. It's just go out and wrestle, talk about your match and wrestle.
Hmm.
No backstage promos and vignettes and gimmicks, and yeah, so it's pretty cool, man.
Now, is this your first time working with the United Wrestling Network, or have you worked with Dave and them?
Well, I've worked with Dave before, and by Dave, obviously Dave Marquez.
Hmm.
And Dave Marquez is a genius in his own right. Obviously, when I got to NWA in 2019, Dave Marquez was that guy. He was the Tony Schiavone,
Hmm.
the Jim Ross, the Bob Caudle. Oh, and the list goes on. Mean Gene Okerlund. Um, he was that, and obviously there was a separation that took place. After the pandemic or before, I don't know which is which, but I did go over and wrestle with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. As a matter of fact, on 10/20/20, that is the date in California in which I defeated Zicky Dice to become the World Television Champion. So I'm very familiar with Dave Marquez, and I got to tell you, I saw some tweets just today, where the question was asked, are we going to find out more about the money? The money. You know, every time I open up a promo with Dave Marquez, I will go, Dave DM Marquez. And the M stands for money. So, it's pretty cool that fans are already anticipating
Hmm.
myself. I've been back with Dave Marquez because our interviews together, was always money. It was
Hmm.
always magic. It was just cool. He's very. I love talking about Dave Marquez as that guy to help forward a story by holding a microphone,
Hmm.
um, because his reactions are subtle but right on point. And he's a good leader for those who don't necessarily know where they need to go. He's a great director. He could drop that question in like me, Gene Okerlund, if a talent get lost to put them back on course. So looking forward to that, Dave.
It seems like everything he touches is turns into a success, and I was excited to see that he was coming to the Louisville market because I had seen that he it was a couple months ago. He posted a picture of him and Rip, and I was like, I wonder what he's
Yeah.
doing in Louisville.
Oh, Rip.
And
Gonna
I
be
see.
good to see Rip too, because
Oh
he'll
yeah.
be in the presence.
Well, I seen that he tagged Rip saying that Rip's gonna come help out. So I'm
Awesome.
sure you're gonna see some colorful language down there. But he means well.
Rip is Rip, and that ain't gonna change.
No, I've done a couple conventions with Rip, and I'm just like, like there's a difference. We're in the car, we're talking, but he don't care if it's public
Yeah,
and it's his knowledge is second to none, and he'll bring something to Derby City, and Louisville wrestling will be thriving for sure. You know, and I greatly appreciate Derby City coming to Louisville and giving the fans something that they crave because it's a wrestling city, and they
yeah,
love it all.
yeah. And I'm sure it's going to be a blast, and obviously I look forward to it. I'm looking forward to repeatedly coming back
Hmm.
and partaking in championship wrestling that's being presented as Derby City Wrestling in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming on today. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we go?
I don't know about plugging, but certainly I like to tell the individuals. Yeah, well, I leave the plug in to Rip Rogers. But I'll certainly like to tell the listeners again, obviously, to where to follow your boy. If you don't, it's at the Black Pope on Instagram, at the Black Pope on Twitter, and at the Black Pope on Facebook or facebook.com/Elijah Burke. As Brian said, I have my own pay per view, which I'll be recording here shortly with Polo Del Mar from the NWA called Post Point of View with Elijah Burke, and a wealth of knowledge that will be shared from myself and Polo Del Mar. We break down stories. We tell you what sucked, what don't suck, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. And we have fun doing it. We laugh, and it's very entertaining. And I hope that you come over and give us a chance. And lastly, but not least, certainly not least, head over to love-alive.org. That's Pope's charity website, so you can see what I'm involved in, what I'm doing on a consistent basis to help the community and the surrounding areas of Jacksonville, Florida, when it comes to the impoverished communities, when it comes to the shelter communities, when it comes to the homeless community. Just been out doing multiple speaking engagements, career fairs, I should say, at the schools to help get the kids ready for the next phase of their life. And we're always trying to get support. I'm not government funded. We do operate off my pockets and the donation of others. So I hope you guys will take a moment to head over to love-alive.org and learn all about the Love Alive charity.
Absolutely. If there's anything I can ever do, Pope, feel free to reach out. I'll help in any way that I can.
$1. Just head over there and donate $1. You'll see a big link say donate. If you can do that, you got your boy support forever. All right. I appreciate it, and thanks for having me on, Brian.
Thank you. You too.
Hey everybody, it's Morty,
It's Brian.
and thank you for watching today's episode of Developmentally Speaking.
If you could, please click that subscribe button.
And don't forget to punch that bell icon so you can get notified whenever we go live or drop a new video every Monday. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next
Developmentally speaking.